everyone, Julie here from Sister Mediums, and I welcome you to our mid-month card reading. We are in the middle of May already, and although it seems like we are almost 6 months into the year and that this year is flying by, I know for some it feels very slow and that we're just kind of dealing with what's coming 1 month at a time, and it's a little bit slower paced. So I know that I've had a lot of discussions with people lately just about their feelings and what's been happening, and a lot of people in need of reassurance that, this global pandemic of ours that we're all experiencing right now is in that first wave for us, anyways, and that hopefully things will get better. And we're all feeling that anxiety that we first felt dissipate a little bit, but there are a lot of feelings of, boredom and now feeling antsy and wanting to get back to a routine. So when I did my meditations and channeled in with my guides, I asked for just some reassurance as to what's happening and what we should be focusing on moving forward. I myself feel really low at times. I gotta say, like, sometimes you wake up in the morning and it's like, okay, we're doing this again. And, we all just want that normalcy back. So, we're right there with you in how we're all feeling. I've gone ahead and pulled a bunch of cards for you, and they seem to go hand in hand with, again, that general overwhelming feeling that's going on right now. There's a light at the end of the tunnel, though, so I'm just going to get started. These first two cards go hand in hand, self-esteem and self-control. And I'm going to start with your self-control first. This card is all about you putting up boundaries and, having some restraint. And it's not just in self-control with yourself, but it's self-control with others in the situations that you're in. A lot of us are working from home, and that also means that we've got kids in the mix, and it's really hard to focus on being grounded and centered and getting your work done and feeling that sense of accomplishment when you've got little kids running around and it's constantly, oh, I got to get breakfast and I got to get lunch together now and I've got to get dinner. And you absolutely don't have the same hours in a day that you would if you were at work or in your workspace where you are uninterrupted. And so sometimes that beast comes out where, we're a little bit short-tempered and we feel fueled. And so, I just want to have that reminder there of sitting peacefully at times, taking that step back and recognizing the triggers and really just bringing ourselves to that state of calm before we get to the point where we start to lose it. This also goes for the refrigerator. It's funny because we see all these different posts on Instagram and Facebook about like eating out of boredom, and it's so true, and we're all doing it. I feel like we're all baking, we're all cooking, we're all spending more time in the kitchen than we normally do. And although the kitchen is a place of breaking bread and celebration and usually gathering with friends and family, a lot of us are heading towards the kitchen out of boredom. And it's having that self-control to really just also say, do I really want this? Do I really need it? There's a feeling afterwards of, wow, I binged a little bit more than I should have. And so again, this card's just that reminder to harness the things and feelings that are going on inside of us, and really just take that step back to reassess the situation and not doing things out of boredom and not doing things out of being frustrated with our situation and what's happening in our homes, especially when it comes to our children and our work. Okay, that next card is the self-esteem card. Archangel Michael comes forth in this card, and of course that's a card of protection and just always reminding you that you've got love around you. There's this beaming heart that's glowing in the photograph, and this card is really about the way that we're feeling right now. And I mean, it's very different when we are not in this situation we're in because we're getting up, we're regularly going and getting our hair done, our nails done, just taking care of ourselves on a different level. Also, just getting out to the gym and things like that. And what's happening now is we're starting to feel like, oh, my self-esteem might feel a little bit down because I'm not feeling myself. I'm not feeling the way that I normally do feel or would feel. And so it's just a reminder that you are loved, and self-esteem really comes from the heart. Don't get down on yourself. Don't let others bring you down. And really just remember that when we're always coming from that place of love, that we should be content with who we are, okay? We are enough. Our hearts should be full with our identity, again, in who we are. And so don't get down on yourself, and don't let yourself think that you can't do things or you're not worth doing things, just because of the circumstances right now, okay? Again, that card of approval, that card of protection, and get up and pamper yourself. So like wake up in the morning, and if you're working from home, it doesn't mean that you can't do your hair and makeup. It's getting out of those track pants and those pajamas, and feeling really good about yourself and however you do it. Okay. So I want to leave you with that. Um, this next card, this is obstacles and challenges. And this card I love because it's really asking us to take a step back for some clarity in our lives. And, we always get to that point at some point in life where we feel like we've gone two steps forward and now one step back. And what this card is asking us to do is stop in that fight or flight mode and really just figure out, should I push forward with something? Should I take a step back from it and like learn from the experience? Like maybe where did I go wrong? How did I go wrong with something? And especially now with us all feeling these obstacles and these challenges around us, we're lacking support, whether it's in our jobs, security, financial restraints, even. And it's really just a reminder that we're all doing this together, but don't rush to make decisions. Take that step back. You might feel like you're falling through the cracks a little bit, just like the way it's shown in the card. But I want to assure you and remind you that we're all going through this together. And the struggles that we're facing are something that are happening that's out of our hands. Like at the end of the day, there's nothing we can really do about it, but just ride it out, and not get so caught up that we feel like we're falling off the deep end. A lot of us are feeling that way right now, when we're told no, when we're told we can't go do this, when you want to take a simple, journey out to the store, like I'm missing Winners, man, Home Sense, like all those things that I love to do, grab a coffee and get out for an hour and go shopping and just hang out with my friends or be outdoors, and that type of thing. And I know we're feeling those restraints and those challenges, but again, taking that step back, looking at the bigger picture and understanding that even though we are going through these difficult times, that it is going to get better, and just remove ourselves a little bit and think like, why is this happening? And how can I deal with it? Um, the other thing about this card is when I see somebody barefoot, it's also about grounding yourself. And I talk a lot about grounding in my readings because I feel like the more that we're rooted and grounded and centered, the more that we have control over the situation. So when we face those challenges and we're grounded, we're that much more harnessed into our own energies and how we're feeling versus maybe being more off of alignment. So I want you to consider that too, is get outside and get grounding, whether it's in your own backyard, your front yard. Just take your shoes off and get barefoot and just hang outside for a bit. Okay. These next two cards also go hand in hand. Take a break and the ever unfolding rose. I'm going to go with take a break first. And, although this card very much seems to me like, hey, let's take a break. Let's go on vacation. That's not something that's happening right now. It's also take a break from the structure of what your everyday life looks like. Okay. We're so used to a set routine of get up in the morning, let's do this, get to work. This is what time I get there. This is what time I take a break. I've got to get through this, and this, and then I can do this. And for a lot of us, it's let's go to the gym after work. Let's go home and make dinner by a certain time. Got to get my kids to soccer, whatever the case may be. And when this card comes forth, it's reminding us that we too need to break from that routine and from that structure and just start something new. So I know that in, again, what's happening right now globally, we've all been forced to establish a new routine. And I'm really hoping that within that routine, we've all learned to set aside some time for ourselves. And how you choose to use that time is completely up to you. Your time to yourself might be, let me sit down and read for an hour. It might be, I'm going to go out for a walk. It might be let me take a hot bath. Let me put on my headphones and listen to some music. It might be let me social media. But I also think that when the card comes forward and it's telling us to take a break, it's also taking a break from what we're so structured and used to doing. So if that means trying something new, like unplugging all your devices for an hour, then do that. If you're not the type of person to sit and have a bath, try it, or a hot shower, or a mask, anything that's going to get you out of your everyday structured routine and have yourself rejuvenate, okay? Feel better about your circumstances and what's happening around you. And just understand too that, you know, this a whole pandemic that we're going through, this is not something that's going away anytime soon, but it is getting better. So the more that we invest in the time that we have at home with ourselves and our families, like there's a reason for all of this. And so I think that the more that we harness this time to really focus on feeding ourselves and our souls, the more relaxed that we're going to be moving back into transition. Okay. So I want to leave you with that. This next card, probably one of my favorites in the deck, it's the ever unfolding rose. And, you know, whenever I see a rose, it's a reminder that things don't happen overnight and things definitely don't happen necessarily on our clock or on our watch. It happens as it's meant to. So sometimes that's baby steps, and sometimes we feel like things should be happening a lot quicker than they do, and you know, you can't force that bloom of a flower. And so on the card here it says it's cracked open and it's happening for you, not to you. So again, in this situation that's happening right now, don't look at it like, oh, poor me, or I'm stuck at home and I can't do this or I can't do that. Let's change the way that we think about this whole situation and kind of look at it like, wow, what can I do on the upside of this to really focus on me? Okay, so whenever I see doors and windows, you know, for me, that's always a symbol of opportunity. And I'm looking at this card thinking, what can I do right now? And even if it takes baby steps, you have to understand, you know, you take one step today, you take one step tomorrow, you take one step the next day. At the end of a year, that's like 365 steps in a different direction. Again, time for something new. And don't get frustrated when things don't happen as quickly as we want them to, because good things take time, good things take patience, good things take nurturing. And I want you to remember that even in this situation, you know, we're all being pushed to sit back and let things unfold naturally and not push the situation any faster than it needs to be. Okay. So this is also I think it's a great personal reminder too for our own goal setting that things don't happen as quickly as we want them to. And there's beauty in everything. So enjoy the process. There's that saying, you know, it's not about the destination, it's about the journey. And it's so true because we're so quick at saying, I can envision this and I want to get to that point. But we forget that the challenges, the obstacles, the detours, they're all part of our self growth. And the more that we grow, the more that we're able to embrace what we're meant to be doing and at a pace that we're meant to be doing it. Okay. So that's that card. Really beautiful artwork too. A lot of people DM and ask me about this deck and what it is. So I'm just going to show it to you real quick. It's Rebecca Campbell. It's Work Your Light Oracle cards. Again, the artwork in here is beautiful. So if you're thinking of getting started with a deck, that's a great one. Okay, the next card here, being in the flow. This card is all about alignment and really just putting down the anchor and saying like, I can't change the situation, whether it's at home, whether it's at work, regardless of the area of your life right now. Sometimes we have to just put a stop and say, I got to pause for a minute. I'm not stopping what I'm doing, but I definitely have to just pause in this moment and reflect and take the time to not do things forcefully. I want to remind you all that when we are in alignment with ourselves, it's a natural yes to the universe to say, come at me, come and give me what I need, come and bring it to me. But when we put up boundaries, walls, and barriers from what's naturally supposed to be taking place, it's like we're saying to the universe, I know what you want to give me, and I know that I need that, but I'm not accepting it right now. And so what that does is it puts up a barrier and you can't move forward from it. Okay. So again, this card being in the flow of what's happening in the now. I know it's really hard to be inside. It's really hard to not be outdoors and enjoying nature, and especially for the mid month of May, like we're expecting warmer temperatures to come, and I hope that they come soon. But this natural flow that we're in, just follow it, go with it. Soon enough we will be outdoors and we'll be enjoying time with our families and seeing like animals and fresh flowers and color and that type of thing. But don't restrict yourself from feeling in alignment because you don't have control over what's happening right now in your situation. I feel like the word control is coming up a lot today. And it's really, again, we don't have control. We've got to just go with that natural flow with the universe. And if there's a message that I can leave you with today, it's definitely going to be that, you know, take this time to invest in ourselves, give ourselves that time that we need throughout the day, really just put aside an hour or two for that self-care, and naturally just wait and see what comes without forcing it to happen. And, the universe will guide us in the direction that we're meant to go in, okay? I always end my card readings with a prayer from Archangel Michael. And I always feel that that's important because it's that reminder and it's that boost that we need moving into the next couple of weeks before the beginning of another month. And again, I feel like that self-esteem is coming back into play where we're questioning ourselves and we're questioning, the natural flow of what we're doing. And so the card here that I've pulled is your inner guidance is real and trustworthy. Um, don't question what you're feeling on the inside. That's your intuition speaking to you. Okay. Before your body reacts intuitively, you sense certain things. And usually that inner voice and that inner guidance that we hear, that's the information that's meant to be followed before the logic starts to kick in. Okay, I'm going to read this prayer to you here. It says, please help me clearly hear, see, feel, and know the divine guidance that I've asked and prayed for. Allow me to keep my ego out of the way so that your wisdom can come streaming through me for my own benefit and for the benefit of those around me. So, hey, you're not feeling a certain situation. Guess what? You're not feeling it. Something has you or your back up. There's usually a reason why. Trust that guidance. Trust that you know best what's meant for you, probably more than anybody else. Okay? Really just learn. Take this time to invest in yourself and learn a little bit more about you, your journey, your soul guidance, your path, and what you're meant to be doing. Um, I hope that you enjoyed that. This was just a good, I think, summary of how we're all feeling, and to just let you know that you're not alone. A lot of the things that we're going through together. And, there's never one person, at least, that's not experiencing what you're experiencing. So I want you to know that whether it's that self-control or that self-esteem or those obstacles and challenges, or it's feeling like you're stuck and you should be moving forward a bit quicker, or feeling out of alignment, that there are a lot of other people feeling that way with you, and it's really just about grounding yourself and honing in on the energies that you're feeling in that self-love, and just keep nurturing it. um, I do hope and pray that this all passes us soon, and that we have some beautiful guidance coming forward in the months to come that are positive and that are life changing, and get us back to the things that we love and enjoy the most, that help feed our souls. So with that, I want to say thanks for tuning in, and I will see you back here in a month. Daniela will be here in a few weeks to do the beginning of June's angel card reading. And as always, stay safe. Blessings on blessings, everybody. And we'll chat soon. Bye.